Did you eat Lucy's beans?
Every single one of them.
Hey, friends.
Yo.
What you doing?
About to post screenplay.
I didn't pull a sword from a stone to sit on the sidelines while you chumps host the show this week, okay? This time it's my time to shine.
You didn't pull a sword from a stone.
Didn't I?
No.
For more of Tam, Dave, as well as hot anime, movie, TV, and comics content, make sure you subscribe to GameSpot Universe for all the sweet, sweet entertainment content you can handle.
Last week I saw King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, and got the chance to speak with star of the film and fellow Geordie, Charlie Hunnam, about his experiences working on it, Street Fighter 2, and his bromance with Marilyn Manson. Yep, really. So in order to look the part of a rough and ready scoundrel with a royal bloodline, Charlie had to endure a pretty grueling fitness regime.
It just turns out that his director Guy Ritchie didn't believe it for a second and wasn't afraid to expose him to the world.
I read that you did about 1,000 push-ups a day, or sit-ups. Guy Ritchie doesn't believe this at all. He said you did about 50, and then you took a half-hour break.
Well,
What do you have to say to Guy Ritchie?
I'd say come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
Do you think you would?
Yes, I do. He's a bit tough, actually. He's a bit handy, old guy. He's a black belt in karate, which is not that intimidating, but he's also a black belt in jiu-jitsu, which is a bit more serious thing to have to consider before you challenge him to a fight. But why don't you ask Guy how he is at pull-ups?
I feel like I've started something here.
Someone you won't have expected to see at the LA premiere of King Arthur was Marilyn Manson, and you definitely won't have expected that he came as Charlie Hunnam's +1.
He told everyone I took him as my +1. I invited him as a guest.
That sounds like a +1.
My girlfriend was +1. Yeah, no, but Marilyn's a good friend of mine.
Obviously, in King Arthur, you don't see Merlin. He gets name dropped a lot.
Marilyn Manson.
Could Marilyn Manson
he's definitely been angling. He's been angling for the role. He would make a truly psychotic Merlin. I've worked with Manson before. He's actually a very, very good actor. It's funny. He's playing a bit of a mad character, and it was the first time he'd ever really done any acting. And it's the first time I'd met him, and within, you know, half an hour I sort of understood what I was dealing with. And he started to panic when it went to his close-up, and he said, dude, what do I do? What do I do? Like, how do I play this? And I said, you should just pretend you're crazy, but you don't know it. Just like real life.
I see what you're doing. You're trying to get me to do something razzle-dazzle with that sword. I'm happy to talk, but there is no way that I am fighting.
King Arthur reunites Charlie with Aiden Gillen, who he starred with in Queer as Folk, which was his big mainstream breakout role. Do not YouTube that at work, because my goodness.
Obviously, Aiden has gone on to act in The Wire, The Dark Knight Rises, and of course his starring role as Littlefinger in Game of Thrones.
I asked Charlie what it was like to be reunited with Aiden, given that both of their careers have gone from strength to strength since they last worked together.
I don't think there's anybody in my career that's had a bigger impact on me than him. I mean, at 18, just 17, 18, something like that, whenever I worked with him, to see that level of integrity and clarity of vision about what he wanted his career to be, and like an uncompromising approach to trying to achieve that, really informed how I've negotiated my whole career.
If he offered you the chance to be, have a secret role on Game of Thrones, would you
They
take it?
offered me a role in Game of Thrones, and I was shooting the Lost City of Zed at the time. And so I wasn't able to do it. And then I ended up shooting Lost City of Z in Belfast and was living in a little housing complex, and I was living next door to Old Dinklage, and above me was David Benioff. So I was having a real Game of Thrones up, and you know, I would go see them going off to work every day, and I thought, oh, could have been bad timing.
What role?
Do you know what? I was so devastated that I wasn't able to do it that I said, you know what, don't tell me anything about it. So I don't even know what role it was. I think it was quite small. I think it was maybe 3 episodes, but significant.
Now, I've done some digging and I think it might have been Sir Arthur Dane or the young Ned Stark. Either way, absolutely gutted.
What's that?
Cheese and scallion. Do you want one?
It's a finger buffet upstairs, man.
All right. Well, it's just, you know, my girlfriend made them for us.
It's all laid on in this game. All we have to do is look good and cash the checks.
Like me, Charlie Hunnam is a secret Geordie, which means he comes from the northeast of England. Fun fact, he actually grew up down the road from where my mum lives. Isn't that nice? Anyway, apart from Jimmy Nail, Nuki Brown and Sting, he's probably our biggest export. And like all actors who come from the northeast, he got his big break in Byker Grove.
Byker Grove was a kids' TV show based around a youth club in the north of England. Many famous faces have been through its hallowed halls over the years and have been introduced by its iconic theme tune, which is literally just a girl saying the words Byker and Grove over and over again.
I asked him how his experiences on the world's most famous grove helped pave the way for his role as King Arthur.
I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and I was thrust onto a set at 17, and it was really shockingly bad. So I'm not quite sure how that influenced me, really. I suppose it just inspired me. It highlighted how crap I was and inspired a very ready desire to learn and get a bit better.
It's a hectic life being a world-famous movie star, and sadly Charlie doesn't have the time to chill out and unwind with some video games like the rest of us.
When I was 12 years old, I was pretty ninja on Street Fighter 2, and there was like a charity thing, like a school fair thing, and so I took in my little, I guess, Mega Drive, and you could pay 50 pence to play me at Street Fighter 2, and if you won, you got £2 back.
Nice. Good returns.
And nobody won. I think, you know, there was 2 characters, either Baraka.
Baraka? He's from Mortal Kombat.
Shush, leave the lovely man alone.
Or Ryu, and I just used nothing you could do.
No.
10 seconds in, you were mullered. Boom.
Mad respect for the use of the word mullered there, but I think I could have brought him over to the gamer's dark side with a round of Mario Kart on the Switch. We come to you now at a moment of crisis. I've just discovered that someone has stolen a tin of my baked beans from the communal kitchen. We'll have more on this story as it develops. But now back to last week's video, where we told you things you didn't know about the Alien franchise on hit entertainment and video game website GameSpot.com. Gray7 says, if you're really reading this, Lucy James, try saying pad kid poured curd. Oh God.
Pulled cold.
Pad kid poured curd pulled cold 5 times fast on the next episode.
Just once will do.
Once will suffice.
Okay. So Matthew Flanagan on YouTube says, "Yo, numbnuts. I remember Species."
Hey, numbnuts.
Hey, numbnuts. It's quite aggressive, considering he's like putting his hand up for remembering Species.
There's a very upsetting apostrophe in the comment also.
Yeah, numbnut apostrophe S, as in belonging to.
Not mate. Also on YouTube, oh God, I could have lost the ability to speak. Starquake King says, Timur's beard and hair are so dark, and I think I stared too long, and I found myself hurtling into the bearded black hole of that magnificent facial hair and emerged in another universe, a GameSpot universe. I'm frightened.
Don't stare too long. You'll never make it back out.
That's it.
Okay, that's it. Thank you for, that's it. I looked at a blank paper there. I was like, what's going on here?
I saw you do that. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, don't do it.
Thank you for watching this episode of Screenplay. As always, please remember to leave your comments, your snide remarks, your cutting insults in the comments below. And you can find us on Twitter. I'm at TamorH.
At Lucy James Games.
And we'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button.
Did you hear every call to action?
Of course.
Good. Well done.